Good morning. Hey guys. Hey, this is Kim, the blog Salvaged Living, where I do lots of easy DIY home decor for Life and Home Redeemed. I have become a wrapping paper hoarder. Okay, is a problem. Like, I buy a lot of wrapping paper, but I don't buy it to wrap gifts. Although I do love to wrap. This is precious wrapping paper, and I'm kicking myself because I can't really remember where I got it. I think that I got it at Walmart. If anybody has this wrapping paper and you know where you got it, would you put that in the comments? I'm 99% sure I got it at Walmart, but I could be off. So this is gonna be my main material for today, but then also some dollar store stuff. Okay, and so if you don't have cute wrapping paper when you're at the dollar store, go ahead and grab a roll or two of craft paper. You know what I mean? It's the more like solid brown wrapping paper that you use for shipping boxes. Okay, so it's cheap. You can get a roll of it for $1 at the Dollar Tree, and I always have some of that on hand because it's a good neutral. So I also grabbed this thing at the Dollar Tree, and I grabbed, let me show y'all. I grabbed a bunch of little hearts because we're doing a Valentine's Day, but this idea works for all holidays. Like, you don't have to do just this. So all these paper doilies, they can really look kind of cheap and ugly if you don't use them right. So this is how I'm gonna show you how I used them, okay? So I got the big ones, I got the little ones, I got these little felt hearts. They're super cute. And okay, so let me just show you what we're gonna do. This is a two-part craft, okay? So stick with me on the two parts. You ready? The first thing you're gonna do is pick one of these hearts. And I got a bunch of different hearts because what I'm making, I made a bunch of them and I made them all different sizes, okay? So I'm gonna do, while we're right here, I'm gonna do kind of a smaller to medium one. You know what? Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use this. I can't make up my mind today. Spray paint. Y'all, paint's the miracle worker of all miracle workers. I'm just here to tell you. All right, so I'm gonna show you. I'm using Rust-Oleum because I love Rust-Oleum, and this is their flat paint. I'm a fan of flat finished paints for crafting. Sometimes I think the shiny paints look a little shiny and cheap. So look, I'm doing this inside. It's super easy. I don't recommend doing this inside, but you can. So when you do this, I want you to know that, like, when you're doing the, if you're using the doilies, the little paper, they'll kind of blow around when you put spray paint on them. So if you come at it straight down, it helps. It helps your pieces not move around, okay? So look, you're gonna kind of it's like kind of like doing graffiti. You're gonna just outline your heart, and you're gonna make sure anywhere there's like holes in your stencil that we're calling it, that you make sure you get the paint. Like, that was so easy, right? Look how cute that is. So the second part is gonna involve wood. Now, I was talking about not having wood that everybody has to cut, because I know everybody doesn't do this, but they have these little hearts, these wood hearts at the Dollar Tree. And you can either use just little scrap pieces of wood or get one of these. And then I want to talk about a power tool. Y'all may not like to saw, but if you don't use a drill, people, ladies, you got to be using a drill, okay? So I want you to just challenge yourself this year. If you're not comfortable with power tools, start here. Start with a drill. They're amazing. Your crafting ability is gonna go up like 500,000 fold, and you're just gonna love all the stuff you can make with a drill. And you're gonna be handy. You're not gonna be somebody else to help you do things. You're gonna do it yourself because, girl, you can do it, okay? So I wanna tell you how to make this. This is how we're gonna make a little stand for our heart, okay? This is what it's gonna look like when it's done. It's just a little stick in a piece of wood. Super easy to do, but just so you guys know how to do this yourself, quick and easy. I sat and made like 15 of these in my garage on Saturday. You're gonna take a dowel rod and you're gonna cut it in pieces. I actually used some old spindles on some ones that I put on my mantle. They're fabulous. I'll show those to you whenever I reveal the whole mantle. And they're fatter. They're fatter than a dowel rod. Dowel rods come in all different sizes. So whatever dowel rod you pick, when you buy it, it'll either tell you how big it is, and if it doesn't, or like you have them laying around your house and you have no idea what size they are, I'm gonna show you guys how to figure it out. You're gonna take your drill bit or your paddle bit, okay? These are two different bits. This is called a paddle bit and this is a drill bit. And you're gonna just take, this is not the right one, but you're gonna take it and just kind of put it right in front of your dowel rod until you get them the same thickness, okay? So you're gonna need a pretty thick drill bit for this. When I used the spindles that I made the other ones out of, they were like fat. So I didn't have a drill bit that fat. I had to use a paddle bit. So this is a smaller paddle bit. This is a larger paddle bit. You can order these on Amazon if you don't want to go to the hardware store. A hardware store will have them. I suggest buying a pack of them, like a variety of sizes, because I use all different sizes for all different things. So it's the same concept. Get it next to your thing and make sure they're the same size. And then you're going to drill your hole into your wood piece, or like into here. You're gonna go straight up and down. And listen guys, let the drill do the work. You don't have to force it or turn it or anything like that. You just put some slight pressure up here and turn, and it's going to do the work for you, okay? So that's just my tip on drilling. You guys try it out. You're gonna love it. It's just, you're gonna be so handy. I just can't wait to hear how handy you are and all the things that you're gonna make. So for this craft, we're just gonna use this little one that I already did. You can put a little dab of glue in there if you want and stick it in here. Now you can spray paint this, you can stain it, do whatever your heart desires, and you have a little stand. You're gonna make this like a puffy heart. There's so many things you can do with these. So I just used some extra scrap paper that I cut out around some of the other ones I painted, and just, you can see how it just fits. So it's gonna be two-sided. And I'm gonna take a glue gun. Okay, you guys need a glue gun for this project. You could use just regular glue if you wanted to. Glue gun just works faster. Make sure you can see. Okay. Now, this paper is flimsy, and so you don't really want to like do this and then stick it, because it all folds up and it's kind of a hot mess. So I put mine down where it goes, and then I just lift it and do it in two parts. Just do a little bead of glue around the edge, but you're gonna leave like the bottom third. I'll show you in just a sec. Press it down while it's hot. Do the other side. So I go through and kind of cut the hearts out, but don't worry too much about getting them too perfect. Because once I do this step and it's glued together, so see I glued, but I left an opening in the bottom. See that? Now I'm gonna cut these pieces to match. And this is where you can get a little more accurate. Honestly, these do not have to be perfect, these little hearts. Don't sweat it. Just kind of loosely follow the shape of the heart. The cool thing about this is if you need some larger scale decor, you can just use one of the bigger heart doilies or the bigger heart patterns. And then when you spray it, you can still cut larger. Like even though this is the inside, I could have cut this heart much larger, and so I would have had a larger heart. So just remember that. You can kind of make it as big as you want. Now what I do is I stuff it. And like I said before, I will probably toss these as soon as I'm done. I won't save them for next year. So I just use my scraps and kind of fold them up, and I use those for stuffing. If I put these in my attic or something, it would probably flatten over the year, but just for the purpose I'm gonna do them for this year, this is literally just enough stuffing to make them not look flat, but to make them look kind of like little pockets, little pillows sort of paper. So cute. Okay, so next, what we're gonna do, okay, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do this on the stand, but I want you to know these are so fun. Right now in my house, I have them laid around, like I have one just kind of nested on a little tray in my kitchen by a cookie stand. I have one in a little basket. You could do a whole dough bowl full of hearts and do all the different patterns, and you could hang these if you wanted to. You could put them on a garland if you wanted to. I did a garland full of these similar ones last year, and that's kind of, I just couldn't get over it. I loved it so much, that's why I wanted to come up with something new this year, but I just couldn't because I really loved that garland last year. So I'm gonna a little bit close out the bottom, leave one tiny, tiny hole, and then I'm gonna take my little stand and just stick it in there. And then look, you can just glue this in shut and glue it on the stick. But the cool thing about this, what my plan is, and why I went ahead and made a bunch of these sticks this year, and I made some with spindles, was because when this is over, when Valentine, I don't know why I keep calling Valentine's Halloween. I really don't know what's wrong with me today. When this holiday is over, I'm just gonna rip this paper off, peel off that gunky hot glue gun, and then I have these stands and I can use them to make another craft with. So these bases you can use for a lot of different stuff once you just get a good, you know, bunch of them made. You can have them for all kinds of crafts. So this is the cutest thing ever, you guys. Put this next to a little picture frame, stick it on your mantle, tuck it on your coffee bar, your hot chocolate bar, whatever. How stinking precious is this? And it was like, cost nothing, okay? I went to Dollar Tree and they had so much fun Valentine's decor at the dollar store. And of course, I like to use it all as a basis to work from because it's cheap and I can make it my own. I feel like the Dollar Tree doesn't always have style that goes with my house, but you can easily make it your own. So that's what we're gonna do today. So this is one of the first things I got at the Dollar Tree, and this was at the Dollar Tree dollar store. So this sign's actually pretty cute on its own. It's just a little plank that says love, and it's got a little 3D burlap heart. So you could totally use that in your decor, but I wanted to just change it up again a little bit, and I'm really wanting to put this over my stove, you know, like the oven vent hood in my kitchen. And so I want it to go this way, and I'm gonna just leave this side in case I decide I wanna use it. And I'm gonna use the back side because the back is just plain. So don't forget the back side of stuff, you guys. What I'm gonna do is take off the little hanger. So I'm just pulling these little staples off the back. They come out really easy, and they don't really mess the canvas up too much. If you wanted to, you could kind of sand it down a little bit, even though it's not wood. It's more like a particle board sign. It would still sand smooth, so no big deal. Just do what you need to do. And like I said, this is a multi-step project, so I'm gonna try to work through it as fast as I can so that I don't take up too much of your time, but I just thought this would be a fun craft for us today. Have y'all gone to the dollar store or the Dollar Tree lately? Because they really have some cute stuff. I want to hear what y'all found. If y'all have any pictures, go ahead and post them. Because I have a whole stack of stuff from the Dollar Tree. So they have this little packet. It was a packet, and I think there's like, there's a stack of these little hearts. It's for a garland, to do like a heart garland. And they're cute. They have kind of that etching that says Happy Valentine's Day in there. And so what I was gonna do is just stain it. And I always tell you guys, remember stain. Don't forget about stain. Everybody wants to paint everything, but staining is so easy, and it's really pretty and rich looking. Kind of goes with everything, and if with that etching in there, it just, you don't have to do any more than that. It's kind of already done for you, and that's a great way to take care of, or take advantage of that Happy Valentine's Day etching in this little heart. So I just did one of those. The second thing that I got was a pack of the doilies, like just the paper doilies. And I have kind of some different ideas for these, but one of the things I'm going to use them for, I'll show you on this sign. It's going to kind of finish off the sign. in a second when we get to that part. I think there's two stuck together. So I just wanted these to have a little love to them as well. And you can easily just dunk this paper into your little tea bath. And it's kind of hard to tell on the live that it comes out a little bit darker, but it does. And so just get some paper towels and you can tea stain these little babies. You can wad them up and do it. They're not super delicate paper, so don't overdo it, but you can definitely do that. And then just set them on a paper towel and let them dry, okay? And I don't know how much you can tell. I'm gonna show you the ones I already did because I did some a few minutes ago. They dry pretty quick. And then I also took a little bit of the stain when I was staining that heart and dabbed it on there. But I don't know if you can tell the difference. It's really kind of hard to see. But in person, there really are. It's a subtle difference, but they're not so bright and shiny. So you might want to do that and let those dry while you're working on this other part of your project, okay? So that was the next step. Now another thing they had at the Dollar Tree was this, and I thought this was such a great deal because it was a pack of words. It was a pack of love words. It came like this. Glitter decor for $1. And there was five glittery loves. So, I mean, there's a million things you could do with this pack alone. You could use these on signs. You could hang them in your garland. You could put one in the middle of a wreath. I mean, like tons of stuff. These are awesome. But what I decided was, you could make the sign with this love, but since I'm going for a little different look, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it more as a stencil. Okay, so let me see if I can, still a little wet. Stick it in the middle. I'm just gonna lay it on there. Just try to eyeball it. Use your hands as measurements. I don't know, I'm very non-perfectionist, so don't pay attention to me if you're more perfectionist than I am. Okay, so I'm using just a little soft bristled paintbrush, and what I'm gonna do is go on the outside of this as a stencil. All right, so here we are so far. And I know it's backwards just the way that my computer does it, okay, or my phone does it. So we have the outline of love. If you mess up, like there's a little there, you can go back with white and touch it up. But what we're gonna do next is gonna be really cute. We're gonna make it striped because I love stripes. So there's two ways you can do this. If you feel confident in your freehanding, then you can just do that. Okay. So cute. Love little stripes. So now we're gonna go back to our little doilies that we had, and they're tea stained. We tea stained them in the beginning, and I have my glue gun ready. And we also made a little stained heart. These are all Dollar Tree items. Get some of my stuff out of the way. These little guys make a little bow. Look at this. So if you just put your two together and scrunch them up in the middle, you have a cute little bow out of your hearts, right? So we're just gonna put that on the edge up here. Put a little glue. And then I'm gonna take this little guy and stick him right in the middle. It might take a second to dry, but this is cute. You could add raffia, you could add ribbons, you could add bows. You know, you could do your stripe in different colors. You could add some glitter. I mean, there's like a million things you could do to make this however your little heart desires. So, see, look how cute that is. Little happy Valentine's Day love sign. Ta-da! Okay, so these felt hearts and these felt pieces are all over the dollar stores. I picked this one up at the Dollar Tree in particular, so 99 cents from the Dollar Tree. And we're gonna use this today in a little different way than I've really seen it a lot. But this is super easy, y'all. You're gonna love this, okay? So what I wanna show you, got kind of layers to this whole deal. So I have this, and this is wrapping paper, which if you have been following for a while, you might have seen me shopping at Walmart after Christmas. If you don't find this wrapping paper, you could use brown craft paper, which would be adorable for what we're about to do. But if you can't find that, you could find some other very generic wrapping paper, or, you know, white, like butcher paper, something like that, just something generic. Somebody's asking about it being backwards, and sorry, that's just the way a video does. I've tried to flip it, and when I do, sometimes I get music playing and weird sounds, so I just, yeah, sorry, I'm just backwards. So anyway, I started off by making a piece, cutting off a piece of this wrapping paper that was long enough that this heart would fit on, and then some. Okay, so you see how big it is? Kind of made a little extra wiggle room. So you want to make sure it's wide enough, you know, to accept whatever thing that you find, that it's wide enough this way, and that you have some extra room this way. Okay, so then I'm just using this for protection, because I don't want to get anything on that. I'm just using acrylic craft paint. You guys can use whatever colors, you know, y'all are into for Valentine's Day. So literally, I'm just gonna like put some paint on here, and I'm putting kind of a lot because I'm really just gonna go ahead and assume that this felt is gonna absorb some of the paint. Hey Brenda, hey Angela, y'all say hi. Okay, is anybody, are y'all decorating, making all this cute stuff for Valentine's Day, or what? This is gonna take a decent amount of paint because it's a big piece and it does absorb, and you kind of need to work quick because I don't want it to dry. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right, I'm getting rid of I had just like my scrap board. So look, you guys, I have this pretty much covered, but you can see it's not like perfect. So now I'm gonna lay it on this piece of paper, and we're gonna use this as a giant stamp. So make sure you get it centered and kind of where you want it to be. Okay, so let me get this. Okay. So we have this big, worn looking heart on our banner. So far, so cute. So obviously we're gonna let this dry, okay? But I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do to the top to hang it, and we're gonna do to the bottom to make it so stinking cute. Y'all are gonna totally love this. Okay. I'm getting some drink. Okay, so next, I wanna show you what we're gonna do. 2 things across the bottom. So cute. Okay, and my hands are dry, they just look a mess. So I have a hole punch. If you don't have a good hole punch, y'all just buy one on Amazon because they're awesome. I used to have one of those all metal janky ones, and so what I'm gonna do is use my thumb as a measuring tool. I wanna make sure y'all can see this. Okay, and I'm gonna start, you're gonna wanna be even, so like, I can only push this up so far. So I'm gonna push it up as far as I can, and I'm just gonna make my first hole punch. So then what I'm gonna do is use my thumb kind of as a marker, just line it up beside that hole punch, and then I'm just gonna go up and punch. And I'm using the spacing of my finger just to keep these, pretty evenly spaced. Okay. And like I said, if you just push it up as far as it goes, and then use your thumb or whatever you want to as a spacing, it'll be pretty accurate. I'm very non-perfect. I am not a perfectionist. That might be good or bad, I don't really know. I think it definitely helps me get projects done, but probably not like as neat as some people would. Okay, so I went and bought some yarn today. I got this at Walmart. I think it was $7 or $8, but it's a huge thing, and I wanted this fat, chunky yarn. You could use thin yarn, you could use jute twine, you could use strips of fabric if you wanted to. I also got this precious mug at Walmart. I love it. Kindness counts. Sure does, people. And it made me happy, so I bought that today. So we're gonna sew a little bit. Now here's the deal. If you have a really thick yarn and you're having a hard time getting it to go through your little holes, here's a little trick for you. Look, you guys, you can take a piece of just wrapping of, just plain old Scotch tape, and if you bind up the end of your yarn, it sort of acts as a needle, and it makes it a little easier to thread. So I'm just gonna thread the bottom of this. And I'm just gonna tape it up to the back, tape my little tails so you can't see them. And okay, that is gonna be our first thing. Now you could just do this, and this would be really cute for the bottom, but I wanna take it up one more notch. So I wanna make sure y'all know how to make tassels, okay? Does everybody know how to make a tassel? If you don't know how to make a tassel, I'm gonna show you a really quick and easy way to make a tassel. So you wanna get a piece of cardboard. Is usually pretty good because you want some a little bit sturdy, and however tall the cardboard is how long your tassel is going to be. So if you want to make baby tassels, you can cut that smaller or bigger. The thing that you want to do is take your yarn, and like I said, you could do this with jute twine, you could use raffia, you could use fabric scraps. I mean, there's like a million things that you could use. So you want to just start by holding your starting piece at the bottom, and you don't want to pull real tight when you make this tassel. You want to just kind of loosely go around so that you have the same tension every lap that you take. So next you want to cut, I have a little, no, that's not what I want. You're going to cut a little strip of yarn, okay, just a little one, and slide it underneath one side, all of the pieces that you just made the tassel, and go up to the top, okay? And you want to tie this off in a knot. If you're just hopping on, we are making a Valentine's banner. These are tassels that we're gonna put across the bottom of it. And if you missed the first part, you're gonna have to go back and rewatch because there's a whole nother section to this. So, okay, so now that we have that, you can slide it off, okay? So we have the start of our tassel. So lay it down, and then I'm gonna cut another piece of yarn. And I'm having a good length because what I like to do is wrap it a couple times. So grab around kind of like where you want the little ball at the top to be, and you're gonna just wrap around. Don't let this get in there, but you're just gonna wrap around a few times tight, okay? So get the first one tight and then wrap it around maybe like 5 times. Depends on the yarn you use, depends on how much you want the neck, this little neck on the tassel, what you want it to look like. You might want it to be where you can hardly see it, you might want it to be thick, you know, I don't know. So then you're gonna tie it off, okay? Tie it tight and in a knot, okay. And then I'm gonna just trim that little knot we just made. Now you have 2 choices here, okay? So here's our tassel, super cute. I probably would have liked it a little more full, so maybe do like 15 to 20 laps on your yarn when you make these. But there are loops down here, so you have a choice. You can make a loopy tassel like this, or you just take your scissors and cut through the loops and have, you know, a more traditional tassel, okay? And if your loops for some reason didn't come out even, you can, you know, just give them a little haircut. Okay? So, hold on, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with that. Let me clean up a little bit. I have a ruler that I keep handy. So this was like 6.5 inches, okay? So this is about 6.5 inches top to bottom, this tassel. And this also just depends on the scale of the banner that you're gonna make. So if you're gonna make a smaller banner, you might want them smaller. You might wanna be giant because honestly, can a tassel be too big ever? I don't think it can, ever. You can't really outdo tassels. Like, just make them however big you want. Okay, so next what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this tassel, and this is what I will say. I might throw this banner away after Valentine's Day when I'm done with it, but I will likely take these tassels off and then use them in another project. So, even though I spent like $7 or $8 on the yarn, I mean, you can use these over and over. So I would say cut this off so that it's not so long, but don't, because this is how you can attach this tassel to other things. They're cute tied on doors or cabinet knobs or underneath a light, on like a lamp light, you know. But what I'm gonna do for the sake of this little craft, I think this is pretty dry. Yeah, I'm gonna flip it over. Is I'm just gonna flip it over and I'm gonna tape it. Okay, we're just gonna use good old Scotch tape. Can you see what I'm doing? Making sure I'm in the right place. So just good old Scotch tape. I'm gonna tape the tassel like right butted up to the bottom on the end right here. And then I'm gonna just take a little tape and I'm gonna tape these up to the top so that they don't fall down and show behind. So see, I'm just taping it. And I made one more, where'd it go? Here's my other one. I'm gonna show you a couple options here. Okay. So I'm gonna tape this one like the same equidistance from the edge on the other side. And okay, so here we are with 2 tassels on the end, which is super cute. I think it would be better with tassels all the way across the bottom. That's your call. But what I'm gonna tell you is whatever you do, if you put tassels on the bottom, you could put 1 more in the middle and do 3, or you would do 2 more. Just make sure you have an odd number. You can have 1 tassel, 2 tassels, 3 tassels, and then after that you have to go to 5, 7, 9. It's just the rule of decorating that looks better, so trust me on that. Okay, so now for the top, how we're gonna hang it. Okay, there's 2 ways you can hang it, and the weather is kind of not cooperating with me. I really love to use a stick or a branch from the yard because it's free and it's just, you know, got more personality. So, but it's so wet outside. I just didn't want to go out in the rain and get a tree limb for y'all today. So sorry. But these dowel rods, I usually keep a couple on hand that you just get at the craft store. You could stain it, you could paint it, you could leave it natural, whatever you want to do. And this is where you can kind of play with how long you want it. So look, I'm just gonna do this. Now, I'm gonna lay it flat and I'm just gonna tape it. The awesome thing about this little banner we're doing is, like I said earlier, you could use craft paper or like white butcher paper, but you can also do this on fabric, you guys. If you have drop cloth, I love to make drop cloth banners. I think they're so pretty, and you can paint fabric just as easily as you can paint paper. So here we go. Okay. So I need to cut this wood down, but what I would do next is take this, tie it. Hi, I'm so glad you're here too, Peggy. Thanks for finding my page. Hey, Denise. Hey, Corinne. Hey, Nancy. Thanks for sprinkling. Y'all are awesome. Okay, real quick. You're just gonna use your little yarn, and you don't want to make it like a super well, you might. It just depends on where you hang it, but I'm not gonna do a lot of slack in this piece because it's already like a large piece. And that's my favorite thing to do, is to DIY bigger pieces for the holidays, because those are where it really gets to costing you a lot of money to decorate with, is when you know, buy big signs, or if you're buying big pieces of artwork, it gets expensive. So DIYing your own is such a great way to do this. Okay, so here we go. Look how cute we are. Okay, you guys, look. Is that the cutest thing ever? And it's just paper and yarn, y'all. This was like nothing, cost like nothing. So yeah, this is cute. Hang it on a wall. You can hang it on a door. I mean, obviously it wouldn't really go outside since it's paper, but there's so many cute ways you can do this. If y'all make this, would you tag me so I can see it, or come back and put it in the comments, because I can't wait to see what y'all come up with. And everybody will find different ones of these to make it with. But yeah, super easy. Another thing you could do is make some more tassels and hang them right here so that this is prettier. Or do some bows, okay? You guys, do some little bows to accentuate and hide this, make it a little cuter. I'm just gonna leave it here for now since, you know, the sake of time or whatever. But I hope you guys loved it, and I hope you have a happy Valentine's Day whenever it gets here. So, thanks for watching and spending some time with me today. It made me feel better, so thanks. We'll see y'all later. Bye.